Now, array being a very important one data structure, Java has enough support to handle it in the way Java can help you. Now, today we are going to discuss about the Java facilities for handling arrays. This is basically one class is there that is defined in Java collection framework. The class is called ArrayList class. Now, let us see regarding the ArrayList class the different constructor that basically used to create the collection of type ArrayList and different methods in this class, and then finally we will check the regular operation which is basically required using these arrays other than the core programming that we have discussed in the last video. So, this is the utilities that is there in this ArrayList class by which you can do. You do not have to write much more code the way we have done in the last video. Now, let us first discuss about ArrayList class in brief, because we have already discussed these things while we are discussing it in our module 3 discussion regarding Java collection framework. Now, ArrayList class is basically a class which implements the list interface. The list interface is basically child interface of the super interface called the collection. It also extends the abstract list. Abstract list again extends the abstract collection. So, this basically the composition of the array list. The different methods which are declared there in list or collection are also by virtue of implementation are there, or in other words what we can say, array list implements all the methods which are declared either in abstract list or abstract collection or collection interface or list interface. Now, we do not have to bother about the implementation, it is already done for you by the Java developer. We will only access them in our usefulness. Now, so far the ArrayList class is concerned, it follows few important characteristics. The thing is that ArrayList class, like any concept, the concept of array, it allows you to store duplicate, means same element can be stored there. However, all elements are of homogeneous type, and it maintain insertion order. If you go on inserting one by one without mentioning its index or whatever it is there, it will basically insert starting from the first to next and so on. And it is again non-synchronized, that means it cannot be done in a synchronized way for threaded programming. It also allow random access because it follows the index type data structure. Array list, initially you can declare it, you can store some value in it, and later on if you go on adding, automatically its size will be increased. That means array list allow a programmer to grow the array dynamically. Like any arrays, for accessing or it basically printing or whatever storing elements, array is the superb data structure, it is basically very fast. But if there is no insertion deletion operations are there, whenever insertion deletion operations are there, like any array concept, this array list also gives a very slow performance. Otherwise, it is excellent one collection in the Java collection framework. Now, array list, it is also a generic class, that means any type of collection you can maintain using this class or constructor. Now, let us see what are the different constructors are there in order to create a collection of type array list. There are mainly three constructors which I have listed. One is default constructor, it basically create an empty collection with a minimum size, it is 16 in the Java supports, and it also can be create a array list collection with an existing collection. So, this is a second constructor. Another example of creating an array list collection is basically specifying the capacity. If you know well in advance what will be the size, then you can use the third constructor. So, these are the three constructors by which you can create a collection of type array list. Now, this program you can little bit check it here how we have created a collection of type array list. You note down few important features here. This is the program that we are going to use it, and here you should import java.util.arraylist, because this is whatever the method that you are going to use, it is basically they are declared in this one. If you do not do it, your program will give compilation error. Now, you note down this is the line where we declare is a collection. this collection is a type of string, that means this is the name of the collection animals and it will store a generic class string in this case. And once it is there is a method add method is declared in the collection, or it is also implements in list and then in the array list class also. So, it basically add elements one by one. So, in the 0th position the lion goes the next one and so on. So, this is the order of insertion that will takes place because we are adding the element into the one. So, this add method as we see here is basically to add the number of elements in it. Now, here so we can add any number of objects or elements of type string as we have seen here, but what will happen if you want to add suppose this one, because it is basically string collection and this 201 supposed to be a number, and then it may gives an error actually in your case. It basically throw some type mismatch error in your program if you do it. Now, so that is why when you do it you have to be little bit careful about that how the array can be initialized one by one, but you have to be little bit careful about so that the type mismatch can be avoided. Now, this is another example how with which you can create an array list collection with the existing collection. This example is similar here. We are to declare the collection A list of type integer. Now, we add the elements into this A list using some statement here. Then we create another collection, this number, and you see here it is also type same integer, but in this case it basically empty, but here we create the collection with the existing collection A list. That means numbers will store all the elements which is there in the A list here, and later on we can go on adding the number, it will go after this one 13, 17. Now, if we print the two list, we can see this is the A list and this is basically all the elements which is there in the numbers. So, it basically shows how an array list collection can be created with an existing collection in your program. So, this is the way by which you can create the collections of type array, but here one point you can note it, if you declare the initial collection is of one type and you want to use the same collection to store into it with another type, then it can throw again exceptional error, because the array type if you want to store they should be of same type. However, there are certain Java collection framework that can allow you to initialize an array list with any type whatever it is there. These are the way that you can do also alternatively. Now, this is an example that we are going to discuss about how a collection can be created using user defined data type. So, first we discussed a class of users is a person with these are the different elements in it, and this is the one simple method to print the elements in a object, right, of the type class. Now, so this is the one user defined type. Now, we want to create a collection which will include all the elements of type person. So, our next program is basically shows you how we can do that. If you see it, we create this is a program that basically shows how the user defined data type using the collection can be created, and we discussed a collection P list is the name of the collection, and you see this collection is of generic type person, and this 5 indicates that initial capacity. So, 5 is the size. Now, here we create an object and with this object we add this. So, this is the one way the object can be created and it can be added, and this is also one object is created standalone, it can be added. So, both the syntax is okay for adding elements at the time of creating the object also. So, this is another and this way another. So, we have created around 6 objects into the program and then added into this one, and this basically traversing the entire collection using for each method. That method is there in Java, it is called the for each loop. So, that for every elements in P, right, in the collection P list, it basically print the data actually. So, this way you can create a collection of any type, in this case person type, and then later on you can access its elements, print it or insert, delete, whatever it is there, the way the logic you know, you can that the same way, or the insertion method it is there in Java collection framework. For this array list class also you can do it. Now here is an example what are the different methods are there in order to insert an elements into a array list collection. As you see here, we have listed the three methods. The first is add and two arguments int index, it indicates that where you want to insert, and e element is a generic method in which element you want to insert. So, e is the element to be inserted at the index location, the first method is there. The second method is basically add e, it is basically insertion in the order. So, it will insert at the end of the array if size permits. And again I told you absolutely you should not bother about what should be the size or there or not, because in case of array list collection size automatically grow whenever it reaches to the maximum size. If you want to add after that, it will automatically expand it. Then the next method add al, it is basically add a collection into the existing element. It is just like adding a collection into the collection while creating a new collection like, but it is existing collection. If you want to add a set of elements into it, then add all method you can consider. Now let us have a quick one example showing the different type of insertion operation, and this is a program insertion into the array list demo, and this basically create an array collection. The name of the collection is odd here, initially it is empty. We are going to create the collection odd here, adding one by one the element, and is basically print the collection. Now after that a list is created, now we can add few more elements into it, and here is basically you see how the different element can be added here. Here we can see create another list, another collection, but using the extra collection. Alternatively we can do it for this odd method, add all and then some other elements into it also we can do it. Now here you can see another collection even one which is initially empty, and we add all the elements which are already there, add 2 into this even one. So here basically add 2, that means we add 2 into the even one, add 4 into the even one also. So this is the even list is created. Now here add all even one into the numbers, numbers is created initially with the odd, now all these numbers is added. So this basically include all the elements which are there in the collection odd in addition to this extra element. So this is the usefulness of the add all method, and finally it will print after the addition of the elements or insertion of the elements into it. So this method shows the different way the insertion can be done. Likewise you can practice with whatever the methods I have listed to use it and see how they are effect in your program. And this is also another example by which the elements can be go on adding into this program. Now here again you should note it, if you want to add into the array of, say here for example, here we can add into the number up to say 15. Now all of a sudden you want to add one element, say 999 in the 100th location, what will happen? It will not report any error, it automatically grow according to the need of the statement or program, and it basically allocate the memory for you. So this way the array can expand it and according to whatever it is there, but in this case many elements in between will not be there, because it is suppose up to 14 elements are there, 15 onwards to 99 it remain blank. It is not good of course, so that is not good, but it will do it. Now accessing objects in a collection is basically we have a collection, if we want to get the first element, last element or any element at the ith position of the array, whatever it is there, the Java provides many methods for this. Here I have listed few methods. The is an index of, that means if you pass an object, that element, and if you want to know in which position in the collection it presents, so that can be obtained. Then set method is basically to replace one element at an index position with an element E, and it will overwrite if in the ith index position the element is already there, that element will be replaced by this one. So, set method is there. Now, other two method clone is already you know, it is basically return an object of the same type. That means, if you want to create a duplicate of an existing collection, then you can call the clone method for that collection, it will create a replica of that. Now, contents, it basically check whether in that collection an element O is present or not. If it is present, it will return true, otherwise false. And size is basically what is the current size of the array, that means number of elements present in the array. Now, trim to size, if you want that, it is basically I want to set few elements into it. Initially it has 100, I want to dispose of say 20. So, trim to size we can mention. So, it basically trim from the last to the trim size element, it is there. So, these are the different methods that can be applied to handle or manipulate your array. Now, let us few example it is there, how we can see the get method and set method in the example. Okay, set method, as I told you, it basically replace one method by, and get method is basically to retrieve a particular element in the ith location. Now, let us see the utilization of all these few methods, those we have discussed in this program. This program is basically create a collection of type string, and then we create the string collection with these are the different elements in it. So, once this array list collection is created, we will be able to apply whether it is empty. Is empty indicates that whether it contains any elements or not, size, get, set, or clear method. Clear method also there to remove all the elements from the existing collection, which needs to be called with care, because it will really remove all the elements and you will not be able to get it later on. Now, these are the few examples here on the created collection top companies, and here you see get 0, it basically return you the first elements in the array list collection, get 1 the next elements, and here get whatever the elements are there with the last elements, and here you see set 4, that means in the fourth location whatever the elements are there will be replaced by another elements Walmart, and then it will print the modified list after the get, set, and everything is there. So, these are the few methods which you can see. The existing methods, those are defined in the array list class, can be used in your program to perform certain desired operation. Now, like creating an insertion of element, there is a deletion operation. In order to do the deletion operation, there are many methods, like here clear method is basically clean the entire collection, remove a particular element, giving the position that from this element, once it is removed it will not be able to recover it. And then object O, if you pass an argument and object, it will remove if the object present in the collection, otherwise it will return false. Remove all collection C, that means it will basically search the entire collection and removing all the elements which are there in these elements are there. Remove if is a predicate, you can specify if a certain condition is satisfied, then only that element will be removed. It is some way of other than collection it is there. Remove range starting from to end one. So, from say particular index to a particular index, all the elements will be removed. For this purpose the remove range method is there. The retain all is basically just like intersection of this one. So, it will keep all the elements which are there, and other than all the elements which is not in this collection will be removed from this one. So, it is little bit different than remove all and retain all, the two methods are there. Now, you can write your program to understand how these methods work for an existing collection. For this purpose, you have to create a collection of your own and then try to apply or call all these methods on that collection and see how they work for you. I have listed few examples to understand this one. I will highlight few methods, those are we have mentioned just now, and this example shows you first we create an array, the name of the collection is called lengths, and add few elements in it. This array list collection is a collection of string type data, and after the array list collection is created, we print the existing array list. So, this is basically the first step to create the array list collection, and later let us see how the different methods regarding the removal or deletion operation can be performed. Now, here is the method remove 5, you can understand what it does for you. It will basically remove the elements which is in the 5th index, and after removing it will print the modified collection. Then status remove small talk, it basically says that if it is successfully removed this object, then status is a boolean, that means true or not. So, that means you can understand whether small talk was there in the collection, and once it is there, if then it will remove it, and then after removal you can print the list also. Now, this is another example. Here you can see we create another collection script, and this one, and in the script we create some elements in it, and this is the new collection, it is there. Now, remove all script, you can understand that we call the method for the collection lengths, and script is the argument for this. That means whatever the elements which are present here will be removed from the existing collection lengths, and then it will print the collection lengths after removing if common elements are there. Now, there are few more methods likewise, you can see that can be exercised. For example, this is the one, the predicate method. Here we want to remove that elements whose first letter is correct C, then we can call this predicate, and then we can remove it here in this one. Then clear is the method, you can understand what it will do for you is that it will clean or remove all the elements which are currently present in this collection lengths, and then print it is basically is empty, that means the elements is not there, it will basically print false like. So, these are the different methods regarding deletion operations that we have exercised for your program. And then there are few methods also there regarding the searching. The search method, in fact exclusively there is no method in the collection, only the search is by virtue of accessing like get like get method. The index of it basically say that whether object O is there or not, if it is there then it basically return in which location. So, this one way of searching like. So, there is no exclusive search method like there, but by virtue of all these method you can perform the search method and this one. Now, so there is a one program that you can consider how this searching can be done in your areas there. This is the program that you can see. We create a collection of the type string here, name of the collection is names, and then we call the different method that we have discussed one by one, index of, last index, first index, all these things are there. So, these are the basically regarding searching the existing collection that you can check with your own time. Now, let us see, there is a sorting is a very important one application in any collection involved, and here we are going to discuss about sorting collection, but you have to little bit careful about when you want to do the sorting. Sorting for the number data type is very easy, but for other data type, user defined data type, you have to be little bit careful about it. Anyway, let us see how the sorting can be accomplished using array list collection. There is one method is there called the sort method, by which you can do the sorting operations on any collection. Now, this example also has the two versions of sort, one is the collections.sort and array list.sort. You do not have to bother about which sort, but you can call any two methods for your collection. It basically is a factory method, it is already defined in the collection, you do not have to bother about it. Array list is also another method which is defined in the array list collection. Now, let us see, these are the static method that you can apply for your collection objects and you can get the work done. Now, let us see the program that you can apply it. we first give a demo about collection.sort method. It is as usual just to create a collection and then we can call the collection.sort method. You can see this is a factory method that you can call, these are numbers. The number is the collection, we passed it into this, so it is sort, and sorted element will be stored in this collection again. It does not return the sort one. So, numbers element will be modified as a sorted order of the elements, and after the sorting you can print the collection, it will print this one. Now, likewise there is a array list.sort method also can be called. It is basically same as earlier one also. Only one thing that you can declare about here in this particular example, the compare method needs to be implemented if you want to create the compare, because comparison is one important concept which is required there in sorting operation. Now, for the different numbers comparison is less than, greater than or equals, whatever it is there, but for the string and others you have to use the compare to method which is declared the string. But if you want to apply the same method for your user defined class, maybe string or others, the default method can be used, otherwise you have to little bit modify your method accordingly. So, here is an example, as you can see, you create a list, name of the list or collection is names, and it includes initially these are the elements, and we modify the sort comparative method. We can call this method sort, right, is basically is the array list sort methods, and then we pass this comparative method, and comparative method is basically called the string compare in name1 dot compare to name2, it is basically string compare. So, this return and then accordingly it sort it, and sorted version of the collection will be printed here. So, this is the way that array list can be sorted, but for the custom classes, user defined classes, you have to really write your own method. Here is an example that you can check and then run it. I declare one class, user defined class public with certain regular method constructor, get name, set name and get age like set age, and then here is an override method of string to string, is basically all the elements which are there, string, integer and everything can be converted into a string in this method, and then it return it. So, basically putting all the elements into store, this is the one idea you can follow of converting all the elements that is there in a particular type of class or fields, and then they are printing in the form. So, converting it into string actually. Now, let us see the comparator method for which we can sort according to the age. There are two attributes, we can do the sorting either with respect to name or age. I can show you one example which basically show you with respect to age, the integer, how it can be sorted here. So, first we create a collection, the name of the collection is people, we initialize the collection with some elements in it. So, it basically after creating the collection it print, and then here we can see how the sort method can be called using this one. So, it is basically the comparator method that it is the get age and person to get age, and now here is basically if this get age is greater than this one, then it is basically in swap or interchange, or it basically shows that in which order it is there. So, it basically shows you ascending order of sorting, and then accordingly comparator method can be defined for you by which you can do it, and then it works for you after the sorting elements is there. So, these are the few important method that you can check, and then you see how it works for you, so that the user defined method can be there. I just give an idea about it or give a task rather, so that just modify this program not for sorting according to the age, but for string. You can use again compare to string method for this purpose, and then redefine this program and run it. So, these are the different sorting operations that we have discussed about. Traversing a collection, likewise many methods are there. Traversing is very simple for any collection there, but there are ready-made few sorting traversal methods are there which we have listed there. We shall discuss in details when we will discuss about Java utility there regarding the iterator, lambda expression, for each remaining, list iterator, split iterator, for each loop, loop with index, while loop and others. So, these are the different way by which the loop can be controlled over a collection and it can be stored there. However, we will discuss these things later on in details about traversing a collection. This is okay, at the end of this course actually we will discuss about, because how the different way the collection can be traversed. Right now we can keep it on hold, so that you can, however, if you are interested you can check it from the different materials in the link there where I have given there. I have also mentioned few examples, so that you can run those examples there also. So, this is one example that you can show it, that basically traverse the entire collection using the different approaches. So, this is the one example which the iterator, least iterator method, it is there. Now, there are certain method called bulk operation which can be applied on a collection. Clone is one example we have discussed about for the bulk operation, but in array list there are certain methods like here to array. It basically convert any type of collection to an array. To array given an array of any type can be converted also. Clone is the method already you have familiar to, these are there. Now, let us see a simple example to give the example of clone we have already familiar to. I will not give that example, I will give another example about to array method, it is there. So, this example, this is an example you can check the usefulness of the to array. First we create A1 is an array of type integers, this is basically the generic arrays, generic collection, and here we create another array of cloning this one integer IO A1 dot size, specifying the size of this array is this one, and then to array method we call IA, that means it basically create a clone, and then this one. So, IA will be created and then it can be stored into there. So, it is basically copying, and then sum of the IA elements can be calculated and it can be printed. So, to array method is basically if you create an array of integers and then the array can be stored into the collection, that is basically the application that you can think about. You can have many more programs from the link that we have given here. So, this link you can consult to get many relevant program for your own practice, and this is the one good document in the Oracle where you can get the different methods in details and their utility. These are the basically study that you can do it to understand the concept of array list in your program, and you can see how the different features those are there in Java collection framework is handy in your program writing. Obviously, more practice is required in order to have the full confidence on this. All the program that we have given there, you just practice in addition to many program which is given there in the link also you can try. Okay, thank you.